Okay, you guys need to listen to this. It doesn't sound so bad, right? The thing is, that's the sound of an AMG engine, more specifically a C63 engine. These new Aston Martin Vantages comes with the Mercedes C63 engine, as we've learnt through rebuilding it and finding all of the Mercedes logos dotted around, well, pretty much the whole car. The problem is for me, the C63 used to sound like this. So what happened? Well, turbos happened, 2 of them. And it went from a 6.2 litre V8 to now a 4 litre V8. But that doesn't mean it's slower. This thing is an animal. It just means the sound of it isn't as AMG or Aston Martin-y as I would like it. If for some reason you've completely missed this build, I picked this Aston Martin up, crash damaged, I've been rebuilding it, and in the past few videos, I've been starting to, let's say, improve it, in my own words. But today, I'm hoping to make some more improvements. So to make this exhaust sound better, we've got to replace and remove a few things. And one thing that I wasn't so impressed by, and I'm sure you guys would agree, is the size and looks of these exhaust tips. For a shouty sort of Aston Martin, these exhaust tips are pretty small and they're pretty pathetic. And not only that, they're rusting around the edge. And apparently it's a pretty common thing. Even here, it was noted down by the technician at Aston Martin. So I'm hoping we may be able to change them towards the end of the video. But first off, we've got other things to attend to. This is the exhaust of an Aston Martin. We have 2 downpipes going from each turbo, one this side and one that side. They then flow into the secondary cats, and then from the secondary cats, it goes all the way back to this horrible back box. Now the downpipes are going to be the part that is restricting most of the power of this car. Problem is, when I looked online for downpipes, I couldn't find any listed for Aston Martin, so I had to think outside the box. So in this box right here, I have a set of downpipes for a C63. Obviously, I couldn't find any for an Aston Martin. These are from BR Motorsport, and I'm pretty sure we should be able to tell within an instant whether these are going to fit or not. In my head, I thought same engine, maybe it'll work. But now I'm thinking about it, it's a completely different chassis. So let's get this thing back up in the air. After comparing the 2 downpipes, I'm just looking at them underneath the car. I couldn't really see much. So I only really had one option, and that was to start stripping it apart from the top of the engine to see if I could see anything more from there. There was a lot of things covering this up, like the strut brace, engine covers, and heat shields. I need to remove all of this so I can see the turbos and where the downpipes connect to them. And with that removed, it was kind of looking promising for me. I don't want to get too excited too early, but the downpipe that I've got and the ones which are on the Aston Martin are looking very similar. Here we've got the hole for the lambda sensor, another hole for the lambda sensor there. We have the same here, we've got the hole for the lambda sensor there, and the one right down the back there. Now this route's down through the back, and then it sort of comes around this route there, and if I look at it, it's pretty similar, and I'm going to be so miffed if it is the slightest difference. But I'm feeling positive. Let's all keep our fingers crossed for this, because it will sound absolutely awesome, I'm sure. Let's do it. So it's back underneath the car we go, and I need to disconnect the secondary cats from the downpipe. There's 3 bolts holding the secondary cats to the pipe, and then there's 1 exhaust clamp holding it to the rest of the exhaust. Then it's down with the Aston, and I can start undoing all the nuts and bolts which hold the downpipe to the turbos. Once I've undone all of that, I then had Chris at the bottom of the car pushing the exhaust up, and me at the top, because I can't be 2 places at once. Or can I? You see, with Surfshark, I could be anywhere, virtually. Now, Surfshark is a VPN tool, and VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. That means it encrypts all the data sent via the internet, so no one can steal your passwords, thanks Chris, view your online messages, or see what you're doing online. Now, some people think public Wi-Fi is safe. but you're wrong. See, public Wi-Fi is a goldmine for hackers, but not when using Surfshark. Now, I've mentioned I could be anywhere virtually. Check this out. Let's say I'm in the UK and I want to watch the film Fast and Furious, the original one, but it's not available to watch. So I go over to the top right hand corner to Surfshark, change my browsing location to Canada, go back onto Netflix, search for the film again, and what do you know, it's there to watch. So to get Surfshark, you can click the link in the description box below and use code Matt Armstrong, and that's going to give you 83% off plus an extra 3 months for free. Thanks Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Back to the exhaust. Yeah! We're out. That was an absolute mission and a half to get that out. That definitely went in with the engine, and there's no way Aston Martin put that in afterwards. This is the moment of truth. I'm going to be disappointed if these are not the same. That's the wrong side. Okay, let's get the other side. I'm going to be highly disappointed if we have to put these all back in. Please, it's too close to be the same.
It does look the same. It does look the same.
It's too close for it to not be the same.
But that means it might not be the same.
Yeah. Right, here we go then. Come on, it's looking close, lad. Oh no.
Tails off different, don't it?
Oh no.
Oh, no, wait.
Oh no.
Looks shorter here, doesn't it?
So, let's have a look right here. So that's on the angle there. It looks like the tail comes off. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but where's this going to?
And it only took another 30 seconds of looking at it to find out, yep, they were slightly different. That's disappointing. We wouldn't have known unless I took it apart because it looks so similar. And in my head I was thinking it's so similar not to be the same. Turns out it's not the same. Lesson learnt. But we have plan number 2 and it's in that box right there. In that box right there is a set of secondary cat delete pipes from Quicksilver. We know these are going to fit because they're made for the Aston Martin. Now when putting the downpipes back in, I may have made a small modification to them, making them now a zero cell sports cat, if you know what I mean. But along with the new Quicksilver pipes, this should be a recipe of some V8 carnage. That almost defeated me, but we're on. And now the question is, have I ruined the Aston Martin with this exhaust? Because I really do not want to put that all back together. Liam, start her up. Quiet. Little bit noisier. That's okay. That's fine, it sounds good. That sounds good. She sounded actually good. It's not even that bad. Bit more. Oh. Okay. Go on, one more, Liam. Wow. Okay, I think that's a winner, but there's still more we need to do. We cannot just leave it like this, obviously because of the new zero cell sports cat. So there's only one place we can go. So myself and the Aston Martin have came to Deutsch, where of course they made DMO's SVJ sound like this. And if they can make an SVJ sound like that, then I'm pretty sure they can make my Aston Martin sound a lot better. Now, Deutsch are known for making some crazy customized exhausts, and that's what we'll be doing to the rest of the Aston Martin exhaust. But there's one thing we need to address before we do that, and that is to tune it. This is needed before we continue with the exhaust work, because now that Aston can breathe better through the exhaust, the ECU needs to know that. And if we don't do it, it could potentially put it into limp mode, which is what we don't need, especially before going on a big road trip with this car. So as always, the Aston Martin is never straightforward. John has been slaving away at the Aston for most of this day now, actually, trying to figure out exactly how we can get around my special zero cell cat downpipe that I've made. And we've come up with a solution. So I'm actually going to be coming back here, and me and John, when I say me and John, mainly John, I'll probably be doing a little bits, and we're actually going to be making some custom downpipes for the Aston Martin, and then potentially touching a bit on the back box. But for now, John has actually tuned this car. We're looking at around 600 bhp this car is going to be now, so that's going to be absolutely ridiculous. All the power going to the rear wheels. This is going to be insane, and I can't actually wait to get this out and drive it with the new power, the new sound. It's all ready to go off now when we just on the final bits now, John is, and it makes a nice difference for somebody else to be doing the work rather than myself. Nice to have a bit of a break. This is what a 600 bhp Aston Martin sounds like. It's a lot louder. That is what an Aston Martin should sound like. So a massive thanks to Deutsch. We'll definitely be back to sort those downpipes and exhaust tips out. But before I go and test out an extra 100 bhp, there's something we need to sort, and that was the tyres. In the last video, we took the Aston to Aston Martin to be checked over, and one thing that got pulled up were the tyres. And these tyres are specially made for the Vantage, so there's only one place I could go to get them. So now, 4 brand new sets of tyres. We can finally take this out for a proper test drive and test the exhaust and the new power. Let's go. Here we go then. New exhaust system, which is sounding mental. We'll get to that later. But a tune, which should bring us over 600 bhp. We need to get it on the dyno to confirm that, so I'm sure we can head to Mallory Performance for that. But I've resisted putting my foot down until now. So we can all experience this together. New tyres on, 600 brake.
Not looking forward to it.
Track mode, manual.
Seatbelts.
Let's do this. Okay. That is a lot quicker.
I couldn't look.
And again. It has got immediate torque, and it just keeps, like, every gear it just gets faster. If you heard that. You're driving.
Why?
Because if we're going on the road trip, you've got to learn how to drive it. So, it's now Hannah's turn to unleash the Aston Martin V8.
Do you feel safe?
I'm not quite sure, actually. Okay. Go on then. Gotta give it a bit. Whoa! Jesus, okay.
Okay, I don't want to do it again.
It's fast, isn't it?
That's enough. No, Carabin.
She's alive. It's literally a new life into the Aston Martin. Some people see cars as just a machine which gets them from A to B, but this one is so much more, especially now. Every single thing that I've done to this Aston Martin, from rebuilding her to modifying her to the exhaust and now the tune on it, has just turned it into an incredible monster. And we need to have a little recap on this. So Hannah, we're going to demonstrate to everyone the final result. So let's go on sport mode. That is just the normal mode with the valves shut. Yeah, it's quite nice and quiet. Let's flip it into track mode. An instant difference. Okay, back into sport. Let's get a few revs in sport. Oh, it's still quite loud. Now track mode. This is where it gets hectic. Send it. She is well and truly alive. I cannot wait to go back to Deutsch to do the back boxes, and we'll probably make a new downpipe as well. Who knows? But if it sounds anything better than that, it's just going to be new levels. Now remember, you guys, if you want to continue supporting the Aston Martin build, we've made a limited number of these Aston Martin t-shirts with a print on the back. We've improved the quality, the prints and everything, and they're looking so good now with the oversized fitment. I'm wearing a large. You can grab these with a link in the description box below, and remember, there's only a limited number available. We're going to be doing this for each of the builds. Thanks so much for watching this video. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Means it encrypts all the data sent via the internet. Thanks, Chris.